Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna upload a short vid, possibly 20 minutes maybe, who knows, depending on the situation, on how long I ramble here. But I figured since I reported on the channel yesterday for Dynamite's review from yesterday, I'd go ahead and expand a little bit on the other side of things, being that WWE has now just lost Daniel Bryan because it was confirmed that he signed. First off, I did read that CM Punk is in discussions with both WWE and AEW, number one. CM Punk is being projected more towards AEW than WWE, and rightfully so. I mean, with the past experience CM Punk had, I wouldn't blame him for saying no to everything WWE has to offer. So the first thing I want to discuss on this video is, how does WWE guarantee themselves to get CM Punk back in their company? First off, WWE's got to give him the main event of WrestleMania. That's number one. Number two, he needs to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania next year for the Universal Championship and be the guy to take the title off of Roman Reigns. Now, granted, there's a lot of people that would say, no, you shouldn't do that. The person that should take the title off of him is somebody they need to build up. I would agree with that, but as you can see, WWE has not done any of those things in the last year since Roman Reigns has become Universal Champion. So, by the time they come to that conclusion and get a rightful replacement of Roman Reigns with the Universal Championship, Roman Reigns will probably be the, champion for God knows how long, probably several years. And I don't think people are going to be okay with that. I know I won't, because I'm not a huge fan of this Roman Reigns agenda that they got going on here. Not that I hate the character. I think the heel run that they got him on is the perfect role for him, since fans don't like him so much. So him playing a prick is the best course of action. But yeah, I would have CM Punk be the guy to take the title off of Roman Reigns. I would give him a very good contract, number one. Number two, besides the WrestleMania main event that he requested back in 2014 and the situation with him winning the Universal Championship, is the other thing I would do. What else? They would need to give him the Brock Lesnar treatment. Him not having to be there all the time and have to wrestle every fucking week. And all that kind of shit, and give him a very light schedule. Probably, I'm figuring he would be able to defend the title month to month on each pay-per-view that they take place, but actually wrestling on Raw or SmackDown on a weekly basis, I don't think is something he's going to want to do. Now, making appearances, I don't think he'll have an issue with, if that's what they want to go with. And that's pretty much the only way I could see CM Punk re-signing with WWE. Now, if that fails, I'll tell you this. If that fails, and even if it don't fail, this is what they definitely got to do. WWE needs to start dipping into that NXT pool, and when they do, they need to really actually push these guys. They need to get Karrion Kross on the right track. They need to get Adam Cole when they move him to the main roster and do the right things with him. Those are the two biggest names out of NXT right now that need to be pushed. Ricochet needs to be pushed heavily for the mid-card division. He would do great things for that mid-card. I think Ricochet beating a guy like Sheamus with the United States Championship around his waist would be an excellent move in the right direction. Get him, use main event as a way of showing highlights of what they did in the match. Show that AEW does it all the time. They use Dark, and they show the results of the matches that took place on the show, so people can see that, yeah, this guy's got this win streak and so forth. But WWE acts like as if the main event doesn't exist, and yet people are tuning in for that lately because they're moving main characters from NXT onto main event to have their matches, and people are actually interested in seeing what they're doing with them. I mean, Karrion Kross is a prime example of that. They need to start using main event as a platform to show people the people that are performing on those episodes, their wins and losses, and actually give a shit about those wins and losses that they're getting on main event. So that's the way I look at it on that situation. Personally, I just don't understand why you wouldn't utilize every aspect of programming to your advantage. AEW is doing that. I don't watch Dark, but they utilize Dark on AEW Dynamite by showing the results of the matches that took place. So you didn't watch the match. Who cares? You saw the end result of the match. You see that they're winning. So when they move them to the primary show, and you see that you remember that they've been winning, and they highlight those wins, like, let's say you get a guy like, let's say they had Jeff Hardy, for example. He's been on main event, and they had him on a winning streak. And you want to, they go ahead and they say, look what this guy has been doing lately. He's been on a hot winning streak, and they show highlights of what he's been doing there, win after win, stuff like that. Any way to get the guy over and for people to realize they're taking the character seriously. That's number one. Number two, when you debut a person like Karrion Kross, he's supposed to win. I've already reiterated this 1,000 times on this channel since Monday. I'm not going to reiterate it again. But the bottom line is, these guys deserve your care. They deserve to be given the right direction with their characters. There's no reason for WWE to be doing this kind of stuff. There's no reason for them to have to treat their people like this. This is why AEW exists, to give them a better opportunity to find somewhere else to work. That's why AEW exists. If WWE treated their performers with respect, doing the same thing AEW is doing, AEW wouldn't exist. AEW wouldn't even be a thought in anyone's mind. WWE would be the place to go. The WWE would be everything they say they are now, and it would ring true to everybody in the world because people would feel that they care about their workers. They care about the performances that they put on. They don't care because they don't want these guys getting over. And I don't understand that at all. From what I've heard lately in the last couple of months from different podcasters, the biggest fear is that they find something else to do. And why wouldn't they find something else to do? You can't wrestle your whole fucking life. I mean, come on, you're throwing your bodies around. And I'll tell you one thing, a guy like Adam Cole, come on, baby. Are you kidding me? That guy ain't gonna get a career in acting. The guy would have to cut off his hair. That guy has had his hair that long from the time he was wrestling, man. I followed this guy's career. He's wrestled in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. He's wrestled in fucking New Japan. Yeah, he wrestled in New Japan Wrestling. He's wrestled in fucking Ring of Honor for most of his career before moving to WWE/NXT. And the guy has done things in those promotions, and he's been making a career out of wrestling. He hasn't looked for other aspects of work. The guy is not an actor. This guy is a professional wrestler. This is a guy that you can utilize and do what you're looking to do to get the job done. And that's be, a wrestling company that succeeds with what you have for talent. He's a Bret Hart. I mean, he doesn't have the in-ring wrestling ability, but Adam Cole is a Bret Hart. He's a true wrestler. That's who you want to build around. If you're worried about a guy leaving the company because, he's going to find an acting career, I can understand that. But Adam Cole's not going to be looking for an acting career. Daniel Bryan ain't going to be looking for an acting career. You want true guys that you want to make larger-than-life characters and get people interested in your product. Those are the kind of guys you go after. A lot of people would say, they're vanilla midgets. Okay, so they're smaller than most wrestlers that people are used to. Big fucking deal. Who gives a shit? These guys can do entertaining stuff. They're good performers. And if worst case scenario, you had an audience that likes the bigger guys, like a Bobby Lashley and a Goldberg. I've said this and I'll say it here now. They need to create a lightweight world championship. Not call it cruiserweight championship, but a lightweight world championship, and utilize that title for the for pay-per-views where they decide they don't want to have, or they don't have a big enough match between two big guys as the main event, and make the lightweight world championship the main event title used for that pay-per-view. That's what I would do. So that's just my attitude and view on it. But yeah, they need to focus on Karrion Kross and build him up. But they ain't going to do that. They already proved that this past Monday. Complete failure. Adam Cole, I'm worried about him. He sees Daniel Bryan. He sees CM Punk going to AEW. Forget it. Forget it. They don't build Adam Cole up and make him a superstar on their roster, on the main roster. He will not stay with WWE after his contract's up. He will hang it up, forget them, take his shit, and go elsewhere to AEW. I'm not kidding. That is the biggest loss that WWE could lose. Adam Cole? Oh my God. And then I guarantee you, Adam Cole leaves, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Roderick Strong all pack their shit and go with them. Because I know for a damn fact those guys are all best friends. And they were a great group together. And that's something else I would do. I'd bring the Undisputed Era back to the main roster if they decide to move Adam Cole to the main roster at some point, because they will eventually. And I would bring those other guys up and have them all work together again as the Undisputed Era and have them take over WWE. That's basically it, man. Those are the two biggest stars right there. If you want to throw Johnny Gargano in because you lost Daniel Bryan, I would definitely do that too. Johnny Gargano is an excellent talent. He is one of the guys that you could look at and say, hey, he's the next Daniel Bryan to take over Daniel Bryan's spot. I would move him up to the main roster at some point, but I would treat him like Daniel Bryan. I would treat him like a fucking superstar instead of some Joe Schmo douchebag. But hey, that's WWE for you. I don't know what to tell you, but that's my attitude on WWE's path of creating new superstars. And if they don't do that, by all means, who cares? They can go disappear for all I give a shit. I'd like to see them succeed and be good again, but after what they've done and how they're acting, it just tells me, even if they go ahead and go about caring again, it just shows that they ain't doing it for us. They're doing it for their own survival just so they could stick around. So, fuck them. Who cares? I just wanted to throw that out there. Because I love wrestling and I want to see WWE get back to where they were, but am I holding my breath for it? Fuck no. Hell no. Anyway, guys, that's all I have to say on this video. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. Thank you very much for watching. I'll speak to you guys later. Bye.